Long to the Lumberjacks. First, the Eagle offense started deep in a hole, and 2nd and 8 became 3rd and 12 on what could have been a disaster. But one item we were not aware of yesterday, apparently the rule against pass interference was temporarily suspended for this contest. And just in case the officials don't know what it is, this is what it looks like. The Eagles were not, however, going to make it easy on the Jacks. Steve Busceletti stopped Larry Centers for a 3-yard loss. And then the whole world came in on Todd Hamill. Charlie Waller finally got him 9 yards further away than where the play originated. So Chuck Rawlinson came in to tie it with another 53-yard attempt. And folks, as far as we know, this one may still be going. Tying the score at 20-20, it was clear this was going to the wire. And even Coach Lynn Graves seemed a bit happier, though it was hard to tell. Say, Coach, a penny for your thoughts. But the next time SFA got the ball, it looked all too easy. On 3rd and 5 from their own 36, Hamill hooked up with Bradford again. The result, 35 yards down to the 29. And Hamilton iced the 11-play, 79-yard drive with a perfect strike to Joe Bradford for the Jacks' first lead of the afternoon, 27-20. But as the third period was drawing to a close, the Eagles began to make their play to get those points back. 3rd and 3. Raymond went to Terrence Sorrell, who made a nice catch and run for 19 yards. The next pass went to Donnie Allen, who made his run-of-the-mill sensational catch for 14 more. On 2nd and 2 from the SFA 25, Joe Ross broke up the middle for 14 yards, bad knee and all, as the fourth quarter came to a close. But hang on to your pennies, Eagle fans. You ain't seen nothing yet. First play, fourth quarter, Joe Ross ties it up with Sammy Twiggs, Sean Gainey, and George Jones leading the way. It was 27 everybody. But the Lumberjacks came back like Black Jacques Shellac, as Todd Hamill was nothing short of magnificent. Check out this play on 2nd and 9 from his own 45. A scramble for 14 yards into Eagle country. 2 plays and an illegal procedure penalty later, Hamill got out the buzzsaw, hooking up with Larry Centers on a 46-yard spectacular that was incredible, and even turned into the high hurdles, totally surprising the Southern defense. Larry Centers' touchdown there that put them up, I think, 34-27. I think you fell down on the play, I think.
Right, yeah, that's something they put in that we hadn't seen, too, and I didn't know whether to go in the post or come back out on him, and when I decided to come back out on him, I slipped, but I don't know if I would have got there anyway. You know?
Yeah, it looked pretty good, but, I had a couple of mistakes in the fourth quarter with my passes and kind of hung them up. Gave him a chance to come back and got the field goal, but, that's how the breaks go.
For a while, the 500 Lumberjack fans were out cheering the other 25,000 at our house. It was not until the Eagles' fourth possession of the fourth quarter the magic from wherever began. The Eagles have pulled more rabbits out of their helmets than all the nightclub magicians combined at this place, and it started with the Eagle defense, Hamill having to scramble for his life, Shane Maxwell on his tail like 007 against an enemy agent, and that is when the Eagle offense reached into its bag of tricks, more appropriately labeled character, and went to work. Gross found a wide-open Carl Miller for 28 yards to the SFA 12.
If I'd have let him a little bit more, he would have scored probably, but, things worked out for the best, and it ended the way we wanted to end.
Everybody talked about mind games this week, but it really came down to a gut check, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It didn't. I don't see where Coach Russell played mind games with anybody. It's something that, we do all the time at the banquet. We just get together and have a little fun. And, I think their coach took it the wrong way and tried to make it a plus as far as motivation for their team. And, it was just, the game is played out here on the field, and it's not done at any banquet or any social gathering. So, it boiled down to coming out here and playing football.
Then an absolutely determined run by Ray on 2nd and 8 took us all the way down to the 1. On 1st and goal, it was tied. Ernest Thompson, playing his last game in Paulson Stadium, dove into the end zone, and with Dow's PAT, it was 34 all. By now, the defense was psyched out of the galaxy. Larry Centers was going nowhere. And when Hamill tried to pass to Centers on the ensuing play, Rodney Oglesby hit him like a freight train, separating Mr. Centers from the football. And then it happened. Taz Dixon and Darrell Hendricks' swan song. Hendricks flushing Hamill out of the pocket. He throws, and it was time for Taz-mania. Taz Dixon's last interception, but by far his most important.
Yeah, we needed a big play to happen, and I feel like our players were so intense at the time, and the crowd was so involved in the game. I could feel it. I could feel something was going to happen because we were getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback and, flushing him out of the pocket and making him, making bad throws and stuff. But I felt like a big play was going to happen. I was just lucky enough to come up with it. I think the quarterback was really going to throw the ball away. I don't think he felt like I could break on it and get the ball, but I did. Darrell Hendricks had a lot to do with that. He had a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
The Eagles moved it a little bit, but couldn't stick it in the end zone. So for the third time this Saturday afternoon, Savannah's Mike Dowis was called on for a field goal as his father Max and the rest of the world watched.
And, he's had a lot of experience now, and that's what he needed to do. And when he trotted out there, I could tell he was real confident about what he's doing. I was just hoping nothing else went wrong in the process, but I felt real good about him when he ran out there. He did a good job.
The hard work through the years paid off. With hardly more than the weight of the world on his shoulders, Mike nonchalantly drilled it to give Georgia Southern the 37-34 lead they would not relinquish.
Well, Bill, I've been preparing for this for 12 years, and I was wondering if I was going to ever get the opportunity, but I did, and what do you know, it's for a national championship. But you have to give all the credit in the world to the defense for stopping them and in the fourth quarter, because the third quarter looked like we couldn't stop them, but they stopped them in the fourth quarter and did a great job. And you got to give the offense credit for moving the football on them, because they were a good team.
Now it was up to the defense, and they rose magnificently to the occasion. Charlie Waller dumping Hamill for a 6-yard loss. And on 4th and 30, it was Kevin Whitley to the rescue, intercepting a pass too long.
Had the chance to run a little bit, and that's what I've been wanting to do.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that run was really neat because you got to run a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, that was, when I first picked it off, I started to fall down, but I said, we need to run some clock off. So I just started running. If I could have scored, I was going to try to score, because Rodney and Taz and all them guys scored on interception this year, so I was just trying to get it up with them.
No mind games, just a gut check. And to Coach Lynn Graves, who endeared himself to Southern fans like the Ayatollah did to Americans and possessed all the personality of a porcupine on Valium, a simple message.
Well, no mind games. I don't know what he was talking about. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. None of us appreciated it. None of our fans appreciated it. And, he can talk all he wants, but he's going home second place. We're number one.
It really just came out to two teams playing hard, battling, and just one team just giving it up.
Yeah, it came down to who wanted it the most at the end when things were getting tough, and I think we showed that we wanted it more.
I don't know. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I mean, happy year, know. As far as 1989 went, that's the best Christmas present I could have gotten this year. And I think for my mom, who's traveled to every game for who knows how long, that was her Christmas present, too.
Happy holidays. And Irk will be back with final comments in a moment. Well, the national championship game is history, and Irk, this is the way national championships ought to be played. As much as I enjoyed that Montana blowout, this is one heck of a way to end the season.
Yeah, I thought it went by the script from game one all the way through this one. The manner in which we won the game showed that our team had class and character and a will to win. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have enjoyed a game like Montana just as much. It was hairy. There were times when they seized the momentum and it looked like they were going to run off with it, but our guys were good enough and strong enough and strong-willed enough to keep it from happening.
I know a lot of people had said at halftime, what's wrong? And I said, we're playing one heck of a good football team today.
Absolutely. I didn't get a chance to tell Coach Graves this after the game because of that mob on the field. And by the way, that was kind of hairy, too.
It was.
Stephen F. Austin has the best football team that we've played without a doubt. I was most impressed with their pass protection scheme. Their receivers are good. Their quarterback is good. They just gave us all kind of problems, but our guys persevered and began to get to him a little bit in the fourth quarter. And then the floodgates kind of broke there at the end. I didn't feel good even with a minute left to play. I thought we had an interception and they didn't give it to us with a minute left. And I knew that they could go the distance, but our guys wouldn't let them. That's the whole story of the game. Our guys wouldn't let them win. They refused to lose. Bill, let me take this opportunity because I know you're not going to get around to asking me about our coaches. I'm a consultant here. I stand on the sideline and I say, let's go Hendricks, let's go E.T. That's about all I do. But we got Tim Stowers and Jay Russell and Jay Venuto on offense, Mike Healy and Tom Spangler and John Pate on defense. And these guys have done the coaching. They're the ones who have brought our players to this point, which is about as good as you can do, isn't it?
You have a couple of guys up in the booth, too, that help out, too. Huh?
I think our people who look out there see a well-coached football team, and I want those guys to get the credit because they are the coaches. They're the ones who prepare the team and see that it functions properly. And I want to take my hat off to them, if I had a hat, as being the best football staff in America. Not Division I AA, but anywhere.
We started the 1980s with no football team. Now, almost a decade later, we finish with 3 national championships. 2 of them back-to-back, both unprecedented. May the 1990s be as kind. See you next season.
This has been the Erk Russell Show.